I'm appalled and disgusted by what I've done. I know as a judge I'm not supposed to show emotion. And in 22 years, I never have. This is one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. I have to imagine that at some point you got on the internet and said, how do I bury a body? Because this is unbelievable. I just signed your death warrant. I'm giving you 175 years, which is 2,100 months.
This is Larissa Rodriguez and her boyfriend, Christopher Rodriguez, appearing in the Cuyahoga County Common Pleas Court in Cleveland, Ohio. Judge Nancy Margaret Russo is preparing to announce their sentences. The events that brought them here began years earlier. One night, Christopher brought in 5-year-old Jordan, Larissa's son who had special needs. Jordan was unconscious. Larissa placed him in a cold shower and later put him to bed. The next day, the child was found dead. Instead of calling 911, the couple chose to conceal what happened. They wrapped Jordan's body in blankets and bags filled with mothballs, then buried him in their backyard. Nearly 2 months later, police arrived after receiving a tip from Christopher's brother. What would investigators uncover as they searched the property?
The side door on it is open. Not sure if anyone's inside.
A police officer arrived at the home to ask a few questions.
Well, we got a call wanting us to check on the well-being of the 5-year-old, 4 to 5-year-old.
But Larissa Rodriguez already had a story prepared.
Do you have a child with special needs?
Oh, Jordan? Yes, I do.
How old is Jordan?
Jordan, he is just turned 5.
Where's Jordan at?
He's with his dad.
Do you know any numbers, how to get in touch with anybody who actually lives in Texas?
I mean, right now, his phone just got disconnected.
She claimed that Jordan was in Texas with his father, but couldn't provide a phone number or any way to reach him. Investigators quickly realized it was a lie. The very next day, police returned and confirmed the disturbing tip from Christopher Rodriguez's brother. The child was buried in the backyard.
Basically, him and his girlfriend buried the kid in the backyard.
If you think the couple felt any remorse, they didn't. After their arrest, Larissa and Christopher accepted a plea deal. The murder charges were dropped, and they pleaded guilty to involuntary manslaughter, felonious assault, 2 counts of child endangerment, and abuse of a corpse. Back in court, Judge Russo prepared to sentence Larissa first.
The court imposed a sentence as follows. Counts 1, 2, and 3 to be served consecutive to each other and concurrent to the sentence imposed in count 5 for a total sentence of 25 years.
Larissa Rodriguez received 25 years in prison. But before sentencing Christopher, Judge Russo had more to say.
What we do every day is so hard for dealing with the horrors that are brought before us. And Mr. Rodriguez, this is a horror. I know as a judge I'm not supposed to show emotion. And in 22 years, I never have. This is one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. You and Larissa. I look at friends and family and people who are desperate to have children and want to have families, and you two have babies with no consideration. You just keep having them, disregarding the value of their life, disregarding their purpose in life, like they're less than an object.
And she wasn't done yet.
I will not accept the recommendation.
Judge Russo rejected the recommended 20 to 25-year sentence both sides had agreed on. She said it didn't match the cruelty of the crime.
You had every opportunity at so many points to make a difference, to get help, to stop beating somebody, to call the police, to ask for help, to try to take him to the hospital. I have to imagine that at some point you got on the internet and said, how do I bury a body? Because this is unbelievable.
She then sentenced Christopher Rodriguez to 28 years, the maximum allowed. He appealed, but the decision was upheld. Today, both Larissa and Christopher are serving their sentences in separate Ohio prisons.
Your sentence is followed. It's a total sentence of 28 years. It's the maximum sentence available. This is a horror. I know as a judge I'm not supposed to show emotion. And in 22 years, I never have. This is one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life.
While their case was disturbing, it pales in comparison to what happened in a South Carolina courtroom with Jeremy and Christine Moody. This married couple, tied to neo-Nazi beliefs, smiled as they faced sentencing for murdering Charles and Gretchen Parker. They chose Charles after finding his address on a sex offender registry and believed their violence was a mission. Investigators tracked them down using surveillance footage and Jeremy's tattoos, including skinhead on his neck and white power across his scalp. But the real chaos began when the couple spoke in court. They admitted everything, showed zero regret, and even revealed plans to kill more people.
Your Honor, our day goes by that I don't regret what's happened. And I know that what I've done is a sin, and I believe that God has forgiven me of it. Please have mercy on Christine and I so we can still have a chance to grow old together as husband and wife.
The Bible clearly states, "Thou shalt not kill." I'm sorry I broke that commandment, but I truly believe God has forgiven Brandy and I hope you will too.
After hearing their twisted statements and their request to stay together, Judge Lee Alfred was left to deliver the final decision.
Brutally killed these two people. They had no way to defend themselves or anything else. And I tell you that I believe that if these two were to get out of jail, I would be concerned that they would do exactly the same thing again. I don't have any question about it. I think it is a case that justice demands a life sentence.
And when their sentences were read, the couple shared one final kiss before being separated for life.
Perverts later. That's what child molesters get.
I think Jeremy and I would have done it again if given the opportunity. I have no regrets. Killing that pedophile was the best day of my life.
What about what you said in court about repenting? Is that not true then?
No, it's not true. My lawyer made me say it.
Do you have anything to say to the victim's family?
May they die also.
Watch again as the two convicts lean in for a kiss outside the courthouse. Any remorse they claimed earlier seems to vanish, revealing their true feelings in that moment. Jeremy and Christine Moody were both sentenced to life in prison with no possibility of parole. But believe it or not, the Moody couple were not the only ones who caused chaos in the courtroom. Next, we revisit the infamous case of 41-year-old Dia Milliberg from Ogden, Utah.
I'm appalled and disgusted.
To understand this case, we go back 3 years earlier. Dia, her husband, and their 16-year-old babysitter, Alexis Rasmussen, were engaging in drug and alcohol-fueled behavior inside the couple's home. Things turned tragic when Eric Milliberg, Dia's husband, injected Alexis with a deadly mix of heroin and methamphetamine for the third time, causing her fatal overdose. Terrified of returning to prison due to his criminal past, Eric and Dia made an unthinkable decision. They moved Alexis's body to a remote area and buried her in a shallow grave. Alexis remained missing for more than a month until a confidential informant helped crack open the case. Police soon recovered her body and uncovered the full truth. After being arrested, Dia Milliberg struck a plea deal. In exchange for a lighter sentence, she agreed to testify against her husband. She pleaded guilty to multiple charges including obstructing justice, illegally obtaining prescription drugs, and abusing a corpse. During sentencing, she addressed the victim's family.
I just want to say that I'm appalled and disgusted by what I've done. And for your family, in a way I can't fix. You're in my prayers, and I hope one day you'll be able to forgive me, and that God will bring me peace. Your Honor, I'm not going to make excuses for what I've done.
Judge W. Brent West then delivered the sentence while acknowledging the shocking gravity of the situation.
The bottom line is, Ms. Milliberg, I do think that prison is the appropriate sentence in this particular situation. I realize that 3 years of allowing you to rebuild and your family and everything of that nature, and then to come in and say, okay, Judge, you're going to destroy that. But I take these cases as I find them to be. I didn't have any control that it took 3 years to bring this to trial. It's going to be the order and sentence of the court that you're to serve 3 indeterminate terms in the Utah State Prison of 0 to 5 years. I will recommend that they run concurrent.
Dia Milliberg was sentenced to 4 years and 2 months in prison, while Eric Milliberg received 6 years.
I'm appalled and disgusted by what I've done.
Some may say the Millibergs acted out of fear, but their crimes pale in comparison to the shocking behavior of Cyrus Matthew. After a wild road rage incident, Matthews is headed to jail, but not before trying to talk his way out of it.
Well, is there like any way that we can reverse this jail time?
Well, you're going to go to jail today. If you need to get out to attend the hearing, we can consider furloughs.
When reasoning didn't work, Matthews decided to take a more practical approach.
Okay? So you have to go today, right? Hey!
In case you missed it, Matthews just walked out of the courtroom. According to him, he's not feeling very jail today. His girlfriend, seen here, chases after him. Mid-escape, Matthews appears to reconsider returning to the courtroom until his girlfriend arrives. That hesitation disappears. Once outside, with freedom in sight, the couple speeds off. Soon after, Wadsworth police get involved. What began as a walkout turns into a high-speed chase reaching 90 miles per hour.
Turn north onto Lyman from Maple. He was in an older gray four-door vehicle.
The chase ends when the amateur Dom Toretto crashes into a white SUV. Officer Whaler rushes to the scene. Thankfully, the passengers, a couple and their baby, were hurt, but not seriously. In the chaos, Officer Whaler heads straight to Matthews' wrecked car.
Breathe in and out. Wadsworth, I'm going to need multiple squads. I need help, sir. Okay.
Eventually, police pull Matthews and his girlfriend from the wreck and take them to the hospital. Matthews is charged with aggravated felonious assault for injuring his girlfriend and the occupants of the SUV. He is later sentenced to 425 days behind bars. His girlfriend faces no charges for the incident. This wasn't the only time someone lost control during sentencing. Take the case of Ms. Yang and her husband, Mr. Huang, in a South China courtroom. The couple was locked in a legal dispute with Huang's mother, who had lent them money for their wedding. As the couple now faced divorce, Huang's mother was worried about being repaid. In the middle of the hearing, tensions erupted. Ms. Yang and her soon-to-be ex-mother-in-law began arguing. Mr. Huang didn't like the way his wife spoke to his mother, and he let her know. What began as a heated verbal exchange quickly spiraled into a physical altercation. And with that chaotic scene finally under control, order slowly returned to the courtroom. The police stepped in, the fight was broken up, and all three were taken into custody. In the end, Mr. Hang received 15 days of detention, while his mother was given 5 days for their roles in the altercation. It's a reminder that even in a courtroom where the law is supposed to keep emotions in check, things can still spiral out of control in an instant. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more unbelievable courtroom moments, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update.